Hey, hey, what is going on? This is Ricardo, the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we are about to get started here with a media partner spotlight. As you can see just on the screen, I had to switch up the overlay right away to make sure we got the right logo there. So I am here with media partner sponsor RapidSOS, and this is going to be an excellent time. I have got Karen and Ed here, and for those who are watching, you want to go ahead and start with an intro. But first, just want to make sure that you all know we are currently live here from NENA 2022, Louisville, Kentucky. We're here in the Expo Hall. It's the second day of the Expo Hall, so this is also the last day. So there's everyone that's walking around. You know, we've got a lot of people in front of us as well. So if you see us wave or whatever, it's because people are going by. And it's excellent too because you have all these different people going through. And before we get into the introductions and stuff, I want to ask you guys right off the bat, how has the conference been for you so far?
Well, it's my first conference. I'm fresh on the RapidSOS team, and it's amazing to be back. You know, it's been about 4 or 5 years. I used to be the CEO of FirstNet, the FirstNet Authority, and to see the integration of 911 and broadband coming together, that's the game changer that I think everyone was hoping to see. And to now understand the scale of where NENA is going, and frankly where the 911 market is heading. Yeah. I mean, Karen, you've been doing this a lot longer than I. It's pretty remarkable.
I've been attending NENA conferences for many, many years, and this year is really a special one, not only as a RapidSOS employee, but also as the NENA private sector director. So going around the show floor and seeing everyone, it is certainly a reunion, but there are so many different public safety agencies and you know, amazing industry partners that get to be here to serve this community.
That is,
photo bomb, video
bomb. photo live broadcast bomb. That was awesome. Well, you know, it's good to have you both here and to learn more about everything that you guys are doing. But let's go back really quick because, as you said, you're fresh, you're new. So a little introduction. You said where you were before, but you know, how did you get involved in public safety and everything? I guess
I was on Capitol Hill. I worked for the House Homeland Security Committee for about 5 years, and was part of the team that helped write the legislation to create FirstNet. Really got involved with NENA back then as we were starting to think a little bit about the holistic public safety enterprise marketplace. And, you know, again, one of the things we did at FirstNet from day one was have a 911 expert on the team, because it's always been part of the entire public safety ecosystem. So was with FirstNet for 9 years, and now very fortunate, the new public sector president at RapidSOS. And you know, it's just an amazing group of people. That, for me, has been the best part about joining RapidSOS is the team that we have and just how dedicated everyone is to 911.
I think that's one of the big things, right? It's that why. You know, there's a famous quote by Simon Sinek that says, you know, people don't buy what you do, it's why you do it. Yeah. And obviously, as you're saying, there was something with RapidSOS, that why, that really brought you in. That's excellent. And
I've seen that here. You know, we had our amazing event last night.
Amazing.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, I was blown away by not only the size, but just how everyone was just talking about what RapidSOS means to them, but also to the entire 911 community, how because of RapidSOS, the partner platform that we've created as the industry leader in that, it's bringing together new technologies and this ecosystem that didn't exist before we were around. So that's been really exciting to be at the leading edge of public safety and technology and the integration of the two of them.
It's amazing. Now, Karen, just really quick for those who are watching who might not know, you know, some of your background. How did you get started as well, and then your transition over to RapidSOS?
Yeah, so I have been at RapidSOS now for 4.5 years, but before that I spent 21 years in 911 in Colorado, and was an amazing experience to be dispatch supervisor and dispatcher CTO and do all of the things in the center, and then have an incredible opportunity to make the transition into the private sector. And what was so amazing at the time, so I was reading a book called The Next Generation Leader by Andy Stanley. And as I was making this decision, I'd already been offered a job. There was a line in the book that I had read, and it said, your industry's greatest problem is the gateway to your future. And at that time, we didn't have location accuracy. We were still really challenged with, you know, phase 1 and phase 2. And so that really told me that it was time to make the jump. And it has been the most amazing ride over the last 4.5 years. And really, it ties back to that community party that you mentioned last night, when we are surrounded by the industry and these 911 professionals who sit and answer the call every single day, and they're sharing their emotional, heartfelt stories with us about how this technology has saved a life and made an impact for them, it just continues to drive our mission and our motivation forward even further tenfold. So I cannot wait for what the future holds in the next several years because of the community and building it together along with 911.
It's crazy to think that it's been 4.5 years.
It's wild.
Right. I mean, it seems like just a little while ago, you're like, I'm going over here. I was seeing you on social media saying, I'm switching it up. Yes. And then it's just been going and going and going.
It's amazing. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. I'm honestly humbled that I get to do this. So yesterday's keynote, he was really trying to reframe our mindset to an attitude of gratitude. And I've always said here at RapidSOS, and even with the public safety team, like, I can't believe we get to serve this community. It is absolutely amazing.
That is awesome. What is some of the stuff that you have seen, I guess, just from the attendees that are going over to the booth and everything? I know you've had a lot of different duties going on because, you're also part of NENA as well. You're part of the board and such. But what are some of the things, either one of you who have been, over at the booth that you've seen, attendees coming by, but just kind of hearing some of the stuff that they've been saying?
Do you want to start?
I mean, for me, again, it's just the sheer quantity. That again is the most amazing thing. We had someone from Charlottesville ECC who told a story back in January. There was a terrible ice storm and brought down all the power lines from the super wet snowstorm. And the only thing that was up was RapidSOS, because they were able to identify that folks were trying to call 911, and they were able to call them back as a result of the information that's important. Stories like that you just keep hearing time and time again. And again, talking a little bit too about what we're coming out with shortly with premium and how that we see that having yet another step forward for the ECC community. People are excited, really, really excited.
People are very excited about all the new things. So yeah, same. We're hearing success stories. We're hearing really heartfelt, emotional, tears are coming out of people's faces just saying thank you so much for how we have served them. But then, the emotional stories of how a telecommunicator saw Apple enhanced emergency data, and they were struggling with this call. And she said, I was able to see this information and know that this person was kind of nonverbal and transition the way that they were approaching that call to be more empathetic. And it made a significant improvement in the outcome of that call and just even how the telecommunicator approached. We always have to control our calls, right? And so sometimes we might get a little bit short and snappy, but being able to be empathetic. And so that was really meaningful for this dispatcher. And then seriously, the transition to video acceptance has been rather amazing. So a lot of people come in to see who our video partners are and interested in how social media is now being integrated and text to 911 and all of these other features. So they want the what's next from RapidSOS. And so they're excited to learn about what's more, and we're going to be excited to continue to deliver that.
Oh, man. Thinking about the social media aspect of it, but also video. Video, I see people talking about it mostly like, texting in the beginning. We're going to end up seeing these pictures. We're going to end up seeing this and that. People are afraid of it. Yes. And but there's also others, I'm included in this as well, that feel that that one of the things that we've always struggled with is closure.
Yes.
Well, now we're going to be seeing things, of course, and that will help, I believe, with the closure piece of it.
Yeah.
Not just that, I think it'll actually kind of, in a way, force some of these dispatch centers to really focus on what to do about the mental health and wellness of their dispatchers and call takers and how all of that is going to work out. I think in the end, it's going to end up being a win-win.
I totally agree. I think for the last 15 years in 911, we've been talking about next generation 911 being multimedia. We focused on pictures and photos. And the way that it was, I think, discussed was that these are just going to show up to you. And everybody says, well, I don't want a dispatcher to have to just see something pop up. Well, that's not really the way that it's working. Yeah. And the way that it's working is not the, gory kind of stories or, the gunshot, this and that. I can't really understand what this caller is trying to explain to me. So show me what you're saying to me. And so being able to actually get a more clear picture of the situation at hand helps us to really provide better situational awareness for the field responders as well. So really that tool is more of a benefit. And also as dispatchers, Ricardo, we hear something in our ear, and what happens? We start to create a storyline in our head, right? And we create these visuals in our own mind that are typically 10 times worse than what really is happening. So I think from the mental health and wellness standpoint, to know that something is going on, that, it is that person's emergency, but it's not bad as what I created in my head. I have a clear picture. I've sent responders. I've done everything I can. I now have, yes, that closure, but also that satisfaction that I know I handled this call to the best of my ability, and I can pat myself on the back and go on to that next call and really love what I was able to do that day.
Yeah, love that. We've got a comment here. It says Facebook user. I'm guessing that's you, Lauren, because every time she pops in, that's what it shows up for whatever reason. But she says, as we were talking about this, she goes, yes, painting an accurate picture of what is transpiring instead of catastrophizing.
Absolutely, 100%.
That is great. So what are some of the new things? I know you have a couple stories that you want to share as well, but what are some, newer things that are coming in?
Fire away.
Okay, so we've got the RapidSOS Advantage. As you know, our platform works with data providers that are bringing critical information into the platform to be delivered to 911. But we also have this amazing partner network, which allows you to launch different tools from the RapidSOS application. So the ability to bring in, the video and text to 911, and how about your own GIS layers in your jurisdictional data? RapidSOS has been asked to, I want to use my own mapping so I can have my street layers and my street information. Can you do that? Well, now we can. The RapidSOS Advantage is bringing on a new feature called Premium. And so we're excited to be able to provide new solutions, new tools for agencies that they do want to pay for that. So that will be a paid for solution. We're going to continue to innovate on RapidSOS portal and our integrations and providing that data to our partners as well. So really, it's any tool that you want to have in one unified mapping application, because we have been asked to do this by the industry, and the industry has guided us into how they want to see it, how they want to receive this. Seeing Annie Alley with your wireless calls and having all of your other situational information, map layers, static, you name it. So this is the RapidSOS Advantage, is the partner ecosystem that we bring to you.
The cheering there was for Karen. It wasn't the money machine. Someone cleaning up over there. It was definitely what Karen was.
Well, I'll say cheers to my friends from Maui PD, because that's who just stopped by. We love them. Mahalo.
Oh, that's amazing. And actually, so Tina. Hello, Tina. It's actually Tina Bonetta, not.
Hi, Tina.
So, hello. Yeah, I don't know why. Sometimes in the audience, when people jump in and stuff, it's just like Facebook user. But it's pulling data from all over the place, and I don't know. It's not always accurate, but we're here and we're talking, and this is really good. So it's awesome to hear about that. What are some of the stories that also, some more stories that you have coming out of this? Because I think this is one of the things that helps paint a picture even more so for everything that you guys are doing, not only for the community, but especially those that are in the chair who are answering these calls and just going through the motions, and having that ability to also have that location. Because I remember when I was in dispatch and I was taking calls and I could not find somebody, and it was devastating. But things are different now.
Things are very different now. And, if you think about it, Ricardo, there were times where we would have outages, right? And we didn't know if it was an issue with our own phone system, an issue with, a fiber cut or something else. And all of a sudden we're like, wow, the phones are awfully quiet. I'm not really sure what's going on. And then somebody calls you, and I did say the keyword. And then somebody calls in and says, hey, I'm calling 911 and getting a busy signal. And so then you're having to kind of, react to that. Well, now with RapidSOS, we're hearing from agencies who've had cybersecurity attack issues or outages. And they're like, the only thing that we had to use was RapidSOS portal. Using Jurisdiction View, we were able to still see the location of callers. We still had phone numbers. We could start to triage and prioritize these calls for service, and the community was served. And that is so impactful. So, not only for outages, hikers that get lost, people that turn over in kayaks. And I will say, this is a story about Uvalde, the way that we can serve with our partner community to enable access to an agency in their critical time of need. They had dispatchers that were coming in to support them as well, and did not have the solution at the time, RapidSOS. And so we worked with our partners to get them stood up with an account so that the dispatchers coming in to support them had a tool to locate those callers as well. So our hearts go out to the team at Uvalde, the Texas board that's been serving them, CSEC, and all those other folks. So It's the way that we get to serve this community and the trust that they've put in us to be able to provide access to all of these tools and then being able to use it so quickly because it is intuitive. Training is included. There's a training center, but our team will also be hands-on. And so we're hearing so many stories, Ricardo, and thank yous. And honestly, people have shed tears, and it's been making me cry and really emotional this week.
Oh, man. But that's good. That's the power of everything that you all are doing.
Yeah.
So here's the question. It's for both of you. And me, just listening to all of this, but how does that make you feel? Like, how satisfying is it to hear all of these and to, be changing so much?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a father of 3, right? I have 3 little ones, and my wife and I were talking about, what if our eldest Liza was at a school that, had to go through something like that,
right?
And it's not the last time that it's going to happen. And so we as a community, you mentioned mental health earlier, certainly,
Yes.
Our professionals in the ECCs, these are humans, and for us to be able to have emotions, they have families, they have kids in the community who know, or neighbors whose kids maybe went to those schools. And so, when you hear of the incredible work that you just hear time and time and time again, Sandy Hook and Texas and so on. I mean, you can't help but get emotional about
Absolutely.
it. So to know that you are playing but a small part in trying to make our society better, to provide solution sets to public safety, to enable them to do their jobs. How do you not find that rewarding? How do you not want to be part of something like that?
Right.
And that's one of the big things that drew me to RapidSOS, drew you to RapidSOS,
Yes.
and the team that we have, and frankly, everyone here at NENA. So it's hard not to feel that connection.
Very
That's
hard
awesome.
not to feel the connection, especially when you're sitting across from the table from a dispatcher who you've done the same work and you've answered those calls, but they're telling you now how things are different because of the brand that you stand behind, right? And the badge or the pin or the logo that you get to wear. And it just makes you want to do more and continue to be better and continue to serve this industry. And it's been exciting too, because we've had folks from our sales team, our engineering team, and our operations team, folks that are not always engaged with 911, and they don't always get to hear the story. And now they get to hear the stories and the impact that they made by writing the code, by anything that they do, and they are more connected to the mission because of those stories. So keep those stories coming in, folks. Please make sure that you send them, because we just want to make sure that we can do better to serve you better. So we're so connected to this mission of saving lives and making sure that you have all the right tools at your fingertips to be able to do that and make an impact in your community.
Now, looking at everything that you all offer as well, you mentioned the premium and everything that's going, but what are some of the differences between what folks get now that is free and those premium features?
Yeah, so just working off some of my crib notes here, because being the new guy, I'm still getting this down. I mean, I'm sitting next to Karen. I mean, how do you not kind of take a back step there? She'll fill in the blanks, but integrated locally authorized GIS. We've got local GIS hosting with access to update map data and to publish, everywhere automatically. That's really another exciting tool. The ability to geocode to your locally authoritative GIS data. That's really exciting. The display of anti-alley and cellular locations together on one screen is another differentiated service. So the fact that we've been listening to the community, again, that's what comes back to what we're trying to always improve the offering that we have. So we've talked about EDX in the past and excited to sort of see where that's going to be coming. We're cautiously optimistic that we're going to be rolling that out pretty soon.
Yes.
So a lot to come.
That is excellent.
Very exciting.
Oh, man. So what are some of the things that you're looking forward to for the rest of the time that you have here? And I'm sure there's other conferences that are going on. I mean, there's always announcements. There's always partnerships. There's a lot of things. I mean, I think you've announced a couple partnerships here as well. And I don't know if you're able to talk about that. I mean, well, they were on LinkedIn. So what are some of the newer partnerships that you have going?
Oh goodness, we have so many partnerships. So we've got awesome. Actually, this is a really awesome partnership with the folks at Axon to bring in the location of the officer through their body-worn camera.
Oh, wow.
We've had for a while GPS location in a car, but when that officer, that field responder, gets out of the vehicle, we've kind of lost that person. So person-level tracking, or what some folks call blue tracking, we'll be able to see that in RapidSOS in relation to the 911 call. Of course, we've got our partner Avive, be able to launch an AED from Portal during a 911 call is absolutely incredible. So if you are here at the conference, I absolutely encourage you to go to the Vive booth or come visit RapidSOS. We're also spotlighting some of our partners today. So throughout the day, about every hour, we've got a new partner coming in. This morning, I think Prepared was coming on, Avive was coming on. We have so many partners in the network. It's been absolutely amazing. So
What does it mean to you to have this many partners? I mean, it's a good thing. Definitely, bringing them in and just integrating all of it, and just being a part of, I guess, just something bigger,
This industry has needed collaboration for so long, and I think the way that the platform has been built and open to partnerships shows that collaboration. Everybody has a solution that can be valuable to 911, but we've always had to access it through another link and another tab and another site and another login. And that's one thing that we have heard over the years is, gosh, it's another thing, right? And so being able to bring it all into one application, single sign-on, and being able to launch those tools from those partnerships, and even our CAD integrations, our call handling integrations, our mapping integrations, wherever you need that data throughout the call flow, we have that information through our partnership network. So I think it just shows the power of collaboration, the power of partnership. These folks are part of the community as well. They want to help impact that life save. And so they are involved in this mission because they want to empower you to save those lives through their tools. And so it's exciting.
And it shows the trust, too, that I think not only the public safety community, but also the marketplace is placing in RapidSOS.
Yeah.
Having the over 65 partners that we have and growing, it just shows, again, that not only is public safety placing their trust in platform and what we're trying to achieve, but also the market. And that's, again, another reflection, too, of the team that we have at RapidSOS and, frankly, the entire ECC community.
So what would you say is the best part of what you do? That's a loaded question, right? I mean, because there's so much.
Yeah.
But for you personally,
I would wrap it up into a word called engage. I get to engage with our partners, with our 911 professionals, with law enforcement community, with the fire community, with the industry partners here. Engaging at any and all levels is honestly the best part of what I do here. I love it.
That's amazing.
And there's no one better. There's no one better to do it. So, it works out. Community for me is really it. And it's not just obviously the community that we see here at NENA, but the team we have at RapidSOS. And, the opportunity to really serve the community is fantastic. It's, how do you not want to be part of it, like I said earlier?
So for you, Ed, also, hearing about, all of these stories and everything that dispatchers and call takers do, I mean, what are some of the things that you've learned? Not just what they do and all of that, but also in using, what you guys all do. What are some of the things you've learned?
Yeah, I think it comes down to two main areas. Just how complex. Everyone, when you think of, if you're just a layperson and you dial 911 or 311, you just think, okay, that person's going to pick up the phone, and all of a sudden in 5 minutes the ambulance or the cop, will be there. Just the complexity that goes into the entire ecosystem, people don't really know. Unless you know, you don't know.
Right.
And I think, just the technology, the human touch that needs to go into an ECC and the entire ecosystem, that for me has always been something that I've been aware of, but now that I'm in it, just that has been completely in a way overwhelming. But at the same time, knowing how dedicated the community is to solving it, to try and improve it, to make it better every single day. And again, unfortunately, we live in an environment right now where I come back to the mental health question you raised, Ricardo. That is such an unspoken about issue that we need to continually be on top of. And it's something certainly on the public safety broadband side, first in my former life, we were very, very aware of. And I think it's another area where RapidSOS, we can continue try and improve and help, because the cost, the mental cost that our public safety professionals and the ECCs go through every single day, it's not addressed as well as we need to. So that's something that I certainly feel like we can try and get involved.
Yeah, it's all about that education, right?
Yes.
So I remember. I remember a while back. Oh, Rosa Ramos says hello. Hey, Rosa,
Hi,
what's
Chica.
going on? So one of the things I remember early on is sitting in some of the sessions that you all were doing, and seeing hands being raised of how many people were using RapidSOS, and of course it would just be a few, and then gradually a lot more and a lot more and a lot more, and even now sometimes it's the whole room, and there's still just a few people that haven't. But my question here, as we go into the wrap up of this live broadcast, is for any of those who are still on the fence, and this is not just with you all, but just in general, like new technology. Those who are on the fence, because there's some out there like, we don't want to bring that in, we don't want to do this or that, we'll do it when we have to do it, or whichever. It's like, you should be doing it now, so that you can get ready instead of waiting for some sort of mandate or whatever.
Right.
But to each their own. I'm not judging or anything like that. But for those who are still kind of on the fence of jumping into or implementing rather new technology, what advice do you have to just kind of get them over that hurdle?
Talk to your neighbors. Your neighbors are likely using this tool. It is free. What is the risk of saving one life with a free application that is intuitive, that is going to help you be more informed at the moment of someone else's crisis and someone else's emergency? Each of us, when we interview in 911, say, I'm here to help people.
Yeah.
What better way to help people than by finding them quicker and impacting that life save? Each one of us are members of our own community as well. And wouldn't we want that same level of service? So I think community expectation is serve your community if you have access to a tool that costs you literally nothing. And then I also just want to encourage, I know that a lot of folks have been working long hours through critical incidents over the last several years. And so sometimes the feeling is, I'm just burnt out. I just can't do one more thing. But think about the satisfaction of doing that one thing or looking at that one screen and helping somebody and being able to have that satisfaction to say, in my 12 or 16 hour shift today, I did something pretty amazing and I impacted that life. And being able to go home, hold your head up high, smile, and come back in the next day, because we need you the next day and the day after that. We need our telecommunicators in these seats. We need you in this community now more than ever.
Yes.
And I would just add, call us.
Yes.
Right? We're here to help. We are here to walk folks through, to make sure they understand, what they want. You might just want 10% of the feature, but use it, try it,
right.
And call RapidSOS. We're here to help you, and we'll come and walk you through it.
Yeah, that's one of the best things is having the community and asking those questions. I was in a session yesterday that I was facilitating, and this was talking about a training program. And at the very end, in the middle, I had asked, how many of you are using this right now? And almost the whole room did, but there was still a good amount that did not raise their hand. So at the end, I had people raise their hands again, and I said, these are the people you need to talk to. Talk to them, because you can talk to the folks up here all you want. But if you want that real world experience, those who are actually using this, talk to these folks. And it would be the exact same for those who are using RapidSOS. Like Karen said, like both of you said, talk to your neighbors, because those are the ones who are going to give you that true to life, how it works.
Absolutely. And you think the other amazing thing is if you call our team, email our team, we all came from the seat. So we all wore the headset, answered calls, dispatch calls. Some sat in the patrol car or in the ambulance or the fire truck. We come from public safety. So, we're not here telling you, use this tool, use this solution, and not understanding what you go through. We've all answered those calls before without the tool. And so we know the impact that is made. But again, you don't have to hear it from us. Talk to your neighbors, because they are living it now, literally every single day.
Perfect. Well, thank you both for being on. This has been an excellent media partner spotlight. And thank you also for being a media partner. This has been awesome. Again, we're here live, NENA 2022 from Louisville, Kentucky. We're in the Expo Hall right now. We're at booth 123. what booth number are you at, and how can people find out more about what you all are doing? And maybe, if people are trying to email you as well, how can they get a hold of you? How can they find out more?
Perfect. Well, we have 2 booths this year. So our main booth is at 1001 or 1001. Our partner network booth is number 92. So that partner network booth is the one where we're going to have those spotlight sessions with some of our partners showing the tools that you can access from Portal. And that's going on all throughout the day, about every hour. You can also email our team at EEM or CSM at RapidSOS.com. You can also go to our website, www.rapidsos.com. And of course, you can find me on pretty much every social media tool, except for Twitter. I don't do Twitter.
You don't tweet?
I don't
tweet.
No Twitter.
Hey, Ricardo, I just want to thank everyone who's here at NENA. I mean, it's an absolutely remarkable group of people who we're fortunate enough to serve. And to see the community coming out at NENA, especially, first time in a long time, it's just wonderful to be back together. And, as I said at the beginning, kind of my first NENA in a long time, to see the camaraderie in the community has been incredible. So just thank you to everyone who's out there. Thank you for using RapidSOS. If you want to try it, let us know. You can't get Karen on Twitter, but everything else you can. But do reach out, because again, we're here to serve public safety.
Yes, 100%.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys very much once again. Thank you all for watching and joining in. Please make sure to share this. And if you have any comments, questions, or you ever want to be a guest on the show, you can email us, and that's going to be wttpodcast@gmail.com. If you're looking for any bonus content, that is going to be patreon.com/WTTpodcast. This Media Partner Spotlight has been sponsored by RapidSOS, and a big shout out to NENA again for everything. We have had a partnership since 2013, and it has been awesome, and I love that we continue to do this. So thank you so very much. Thank you to patrons as well. This can be seen on YouTube, LinkedIn, as well as Facebook and Twitter. And the flagship show, you can listen 24/7 on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app, and withinthetrenches.net. Have a good one, everyone. We will see you in the next one.